Some red-legged partridge as well, look, as well as a deer. There he goes. Howdy folks, 10th visit, 26th of April. Beekeeper's done a runner. No idea where he's gone. Oh, okay, maybe there. Well, it's soon to be the season of having to put my onesie on, I think, because I can't keep wearing welly tones in this sort of temperature. It's only 14-15 degrees. Two options today's that's that sort of temperature they're recommending, and tomorrow they reckon it's going to be 19 degrees, but I thought I'd get it out of the way today on Saturday just so it's done. One of these girls was hassling me just a minute ago, but I don't think it's too bad. This stuff that I left out, they've sort of cleaned it, which is encouraging, but it also means that they're not desperate for food, which is also good because that means there's plenty in the environment. So we're going to just have a quick look through. Smoker was on the go a second ago. Yeah, that's still going. I've got some nice foliage coming out now, cowslip and one thing and another. Nice bit of cover for wildlife. And let's have a listen to these girls, see what's going on. That's a busy noise again. Lots of pollen, orange and grey or white going in there. So there's plenty on the go. It doesn't look like all the hedgerows are out with all the hawthorn is out. I don't think it is, but it might be up at the other apiary one, but I'm not sure. Down here it wasn't quite so good. But there's masses of pollen coming in again. Fantastic sign. Yeah, we're getting hassled by some guard bee at the moment. But again, it's a busy working colony noise, that. Here's a girl that's just landed on me, he says. There it is. 1, 2. Loads of them, all just landed on my arm just because I've stuck it out. Change of gloves. Blimey, there's a smell of something coming in here. Must be the pollen. There's one with pollen on there. See if we can get a close-up of her. I'm hoping you can see that all right. I've just got my arm twisted round at a wrong angle. She's sniffing. Another one landed on me. There's several. Right, so they're busy bees. We might have some fun with that colony there, and we've got 2 supers on, 1 super. I've got some spare supers in the van just in case, so we're just going to go through the brood boxes as usual. All we're doing again at this time of year is looking for a queen. Make sure you've got a marked queen. Come every week, come and have a look at them. So then if you ever lose a queen or something happens, you can just say to yourself in your records, when was the last time I saw a queen bee? And if it was only last week, you know that it was only last week. If you just go on your holidays and come back in 3 weeks' time and wonder why they've all gone, it's probably because you went on holiday. So again, this is a commitment issue with beekeeping. Maybe you have to consider, once you've got to June the 21st, you're almost in the clear, even though the workload then changes to honey collection. After swarming season, you're more in the clear than you are now. During swarming season, it's almost vital you come once a week or every 7 days, but we'll go through that in understanding how the colony works. So usual trick, I'll get set up, and I think what I'll do is I'll set the camera up to look at this one box there. And then I've noticed on some of the films I've watched back, as I go to double brood like that, you can't see anything. So I'm just going to click the 0.5 button and see if it makes a difference. So let's have a go now. Yeah, apart from my glove. So yeah, then you'll see me assembling the hive, hopefully. So that's what I'm planning to do. And by the end of the year, I'll probably get it all sorted. Okay, so I'll stop here and we'll carry on. Okay folks, smoke trick and then split the hive. I can already tell that that super is full of honey. Well, not full, but they've loaded it up, so they're going to need a new super or another one added. Just wait for that smoke to bite a little bit and then we'll take this off. And as usual, I've forgotten my 2 cover boards. Hang on, I'll be back in a second. Back again. Did anyone notice, or anybody move? Did you go for a cup of tea? No, probably not. Right, let's split the hive down then. There she is. Right, what's the first thing you notice about this? What's this stuff called again? Bridge comb. Well done, 10 points or 10 empty peanut butter jars for whoever got that right. And what does that indicate? Yep, well done. It indicates that they're running out of room. So they're trying to make more space in the confined area that they've got. So that is a sure sign indication that they need another super. And it's just showing you how much can happen in beekeeping in a week. That comb has come since last visit, only 7 days ago. Amazing. Look at these two talking to each other. So they're all clambering over it. They get quite possessive of what's theirs at this time of year, which is, understandable. They've worked hard for it. So I'll just put that down there. And I've got a few spare frames if we find any complete junk that we've got to get rid of, just in case. But pretty much we're just looking for a queen again. But you can see how big the nest is. Look, almost a full box. So if they filled that, that's why they need a new super. Right, so yeah, they've just put a little bit, or she's just put a little bit of brood out there, but that frame is solid honey, look, which is annoying because it means that it hasn't gone up into the supers, because I should have double supered them last week. You can never be you can't be too far ahead on supers. And all these drones are making a lot of fuss, and I don't know why. Maybe we'll find out in a minute. A lot of drones there. You can see them now quite clearly. So that is still the edge of the nest. And there's some queen cells. Is there anything in them? Can you see them at the bottom there, the little cup cells? There they are. There's nothing in there. But there again, it's another surefire sign they're getting ready. And there's some more this side. I'm not going to show you every single one. If I just spot one, I'm just going to have a look and ping it off. Actually, there was something in there. So these are, now I've destroyed that, we're going to be in swarm season next week. There was the queen cell, or the queen grub, if you like. I'll let them go another week and see whether they still want to go next week. Because there is still plenty of room in this hive. It might be just the pressure of not having that extra super. There's lots of grubs and eggs in there. So it is still a bit early. I don't really want them to do it. I don't want to split them just yet. Here's another one. That was dry. Oh, was there an egg in there? Don't know. Yeah. They are certainly getting into it. We'll put another super on, or maybe two actually, just to give them as much space as possible, because really 3 is the limit. You don't really want more than 3 supers on a colony. Just gets too big and unmanageable. There's a full slab of brood that could go downstairs, but I'm more concerned now. I've found a few cells. I'm more concerned about swarming than I am the size of this nest. See, there's a clean frame of ready to go, but nothing, they haven't done anything in there. Another empty cup cell on there. Here. So there's plenty of room for this colony to expand. I think they're just under pressure because of the super situation. That's why the drones are on the case, because they're picking up the colony wanting to do it. Absolutely solid frame of brood there. Another little cup cell right in the corner. Right, so there was one that had a little grub in it, so they are definitely either a week away, or we'll find out in the bottom box. I think that's going to be the decider. Like I say, I'm not too concerned at this stage because it is still early. You know, once you get into May, you've got to start accepting you've got to split the colonies, but I don't really want to split them at this stage, because you've got too long then between now and June the 21st, and they might want to do it again. And I haven't got the resources and space and time to manage it any differently. So I try and push them as close as I can towards... Yeah, look, you see the drones are getting all jumpy. Right, let's head off next door. Here we go. So now we're looking for, make sure we've still got a queen. Now we've seen a few queen cells. That's the trick. But next week we're going to have to be vigilant, and if there are some 2 or 3 swarm cells, we are going to have to split them. Look how big this nest is technically. It's 2 brood boxes full of nest. And as I said to you last week, don't be worried about putting the nest at the back of the box, because they've filled it up with more, or the queen has. Lots of drones, lots of nest. There she is. I'll have to put my finger in here just so I know that you can see her. So that's all good. We can put that inside here, I think. Move this older one out. Making sure you get her down in a wide gap. Full of brood, not drones. A couple of cup cells at the bottom here. Nothing in them. I don't know what they're feeding on, but it's very fragrant. See, that's empty, all ready to be filled up. So I'm just going to leave this nest as is. I don't want to upset them too much. We've done a lot of the reorganisation. There are a lot of grubs in progress there. No queen cells. And as I said last time, most of the queen cells you'll find in the top box off the bottom of the frames, just because there's more room to produce them. Full slab of brood. There's a couple here. What's in here? These are quite substantial here. Can you see these? Nothing in that one. Nothing in that one. And there's one here. And there's nothing in that one either. That's riddled with pollen. And a few drones. I don't know why they do that when they've got a drone frame, but hey ho, I'm going to leave them the pollen in the middle of the nest because that's where they want it, clearly. I'm not going to argue at this stage. Who the hell's got stuck? Somebody's got stuck. There you go. Another frame of brood and pollen. Just leave that where it is. Like I say, I'm not too concerned about this. It's more I'm concerned about the space they've got. There's all the drones being relayed. There are masses of drones in here. There's no need to go mad. I don't know why they keep adding on drones on other frames, but they just do. What have we got here? Can we ditch one of these frames and give them some more room? Oh, there's brood on there as well. Okay, well we'll just leave them with that because it's got pollen in it and they need somewhere to put pollen near the entrance. So let's just have a quick look at this one. Alright, alright. And that's full of pollen as well. Yeah. It's a bit like, you know, folks coming home from the shopping. You just instantly want somewhere to drop your bags with all the stuff in it. So you just drop them at the front door. You don't really want to be running upstairs thinking, oh, I better store this now, right this minute. So you just drop everything at the front door and hope that somebody else inside, wink wink, helps out, which sometimes happens, sometimes doesn't. So I think that swarming pressure is literally linked to supers. So we're just going to put this nest together and expand to 3 supers, I think, because the weather is predicted to come really good next week. Now, bearing in mind the queen was at the back of this nest, she may have moved, she may not have moved, but you just need to be very careful. And this rattling motion helps them get out of the way. But a lot of this noise is the drones making a fuss, because they've heard or smelt that there's queen cells around. So they're telling all the lads something's going to happen soon. We need to get ready. Right, I'm going to do the half magnification now and see what happens. There you go. Right, you can just still see that. I'm going to clean this queen excluder up now that all the bees are off. So brace comb is either lack of room or they are cold. That's a dead bee. I haven't killed her, she just got stuck. Right, so here is a new super. Well, not a new one, but an empty one. You can just see that. And what I'm going to do is move these frames in the middle, 2 frames out. And then I'm going to steal 2 frames from the one that's already got stuff in it from the other one. I'll just go and get them and I'll drop them in and show you. Right, so you can see here the other end of the bridge comb that they were making, and you can see honey in those 2 frames. So you need to put two frames minimum next to the colony so that they recognise the smell and move up. Okay, now they will sense this and they'll realise that this box is empty from here to here, and then from here back. They'll realise that that's empty, and I am just going to go and get another super just to lift them up 2 now. So I'm going to stop this, move the camera up and go and get another super box. Right, so now we've got this is the second super that I've just brought down. I've done the same trick again, 2 frames out, nicked 2 from the one that we took off at the beginning. This one can go in, but the other one's got comb on it. Hang on, where's my... So this one's got the remnants of the bridge comb that we found in on the queen excluder. So we'll just take that off. I don't really want to encourage them to do that, but you can see, I mean, this is probably conker tree honey. It might be hedgerow honey, probably conker tree honey, but there's a fair whack in there. And if the weather keeps going like it's predicted, they will need that. I think I just squashed somebody doing that, sorry about that. If you saw that, apologies, but like I said, if you're going to keep bees, you're going to squash bees. Right, I was just scraping off some bridge comb there. I don't know whether you could have seen that, but anyway, it was underneath. I could just see it down there. So now we'll put these 4 in here, which were the empty ones from the other 2 boxes, obviously. That's a big hive now. Right, done. So we had some rain at the beginning of the week, and now we've got hot weather, and so that will really stimulate the plants to start giving up some pollen and nectar. And so, yeah, that is probably going to kick things off for this week, and we'll come back next week and see what's happened. I'll just put the lid on and then show you that colony from a distance so you can see it. So that's a big old colony now. 2 brood boxes, and almost the same again with 3 supers. And that has quietened the note down. You can almost hear them through the side of the box. I've still got you on 1, hang on. So yeah, that's quite a big hive now, and there's a bit of a gap there which is annoying. Really, I should put some tape on there, which is a good reason for the covers, you see. That air escape isn't good. I might get some tape for that before I go. Anyway, we'll start on the next colony now. So I did just put a bit of tape along there just to plug that gap for them. That really needs a new box. This needs a new box because the side is bowed down. So I'll have to get them a new box, and we'll switch it all over next week, but I haven't got enough with me to do it just at the moment. So that'll do them for now. Just stops the air rushing out the side there and changing the dynamics of the colony. Right, I've done the smoke trick, so we're just going to split the hive when that's settled a bit. And the air's gone a bit strange, like it wants to rain, so I don't know whether these are going to carry on being grumpy or what, I don't know, but we'll see. that top box hasn't got much in it. And the next one down has. Oh. So we can put that at the top now. Just switch a route. Right, there's the proofs in the pudding. No bridge comb, tiny bit. So that was the difficulty with the other colony, they weren't big enough. We've done everything back to front, so there's the syrup on there. We'll just close them up for a minute. Close this other side up. And this is the beauty of not having those ventilated floors. Every week I used to have to try and take that cover off the bottom box, get the yellow tray out, put a new yellow tray in, take it home, clean it, faff around, all the rest of it. You put a solid floor in, they keep it perfectly clean, and there's no need to do all that. It's, I don't know, jury's out for me, but I preferred solid floors. So let's have a look into these. Again, you see, full colony at the top box. Lots of drones in here making a lot of fuss, and some cup cells. So we'll just extinguish them. Nothing in it, nothing in it, nothing in it. But it does show you that nature synchronizes itself. As I was saying in the earlier videos, right at the beginning of the year, you're trying to balance what nature's doing with what you're doing, or you're trying to balance what you do with nature. Sorry, that's probably a more accurate way of putting it, because you don't control nature. There's a little bit of brood. Masses of drones. I don't know why they all hang out at the back. Maybe it's for heat, I don't know. Maybe it's because the girls at the front are going hammer and tong with all the stuff that's coming in. I don't know. Somebody far cleverer than me will work that out, or will have worked that out. They're just starting to draw that. That one is drawn, but no eggs as yet, so they're not desperate for space, thankfully. Not nesting space anyway. Massive slab of brood. That could go downstairs actually, but it'll all get hatched out. And then she'll come up the top here to lay in it again, so you know. Let's just get rid of these little cup cells, nothing in them. I've just popped them all, you can see it at the end of my thumb here. I might put that downstairs. Well, what I could do is just swap places. That's all full of eggs. Hatching brood. Not sure if you can see the eggs in there with the light. Little grain of rice trick again. I don't know why these are so jumpy. They're not like their mother up at the other apiary, that's for sure. Plenty of room and no eggs. So there's a few eggs in there. There are a few eggs in there, but not many. So there's room at the inn for her to expand the nest depending on the resources coming into the nest and what the bees tell her. That's starting to be laid out again. There's a few eggs at the bottom there, but not masses. Lots of foundation just starting to be drawn. So this is a good nest, it's expanding. Not quite as fast as the one next door, and I did say, I think, in a video yonks ago that I thought the other queen would be a better queen than this one in terms of performance and temperament. Masses of drones hanging out. Again, you can see all the different colours here, orange, and then the darker ones, showing the difference in genetics. Here's a dark one there. Can you see that compared to that drone there that's all sort of orangey colour? Another orange and orange there, so that's definitely genetics. Alright, stop hassling me. I don't know why you're hassling me so much. See, that's all laid and full. Laid. I think this was the comb that I broke last time, so I'm just going to leave that there. And I'm just going to hop this frame, this newer frame, inside this older frame here, just to try and encourage them to use it a bit more. But apart from that, that's it. Again, it might be a weather change, could be there's some excitement about swarming. But there you can see they're visibly more jumpy than the other lot. So we might be planning to take this queen out this year, even though she's a new queen. If this behaviour doesn't calm down, I won't want to be keeping this queen. Even though it sounds harsh, these bees are living with humans or close to humans, and you can't keep bees that can't live close to humans. You know, it's easy for me, I'll just walk away and come back in 7 days, but people have to live here while this is going on, so they have to be easy to look after. Right, move next door now. Here we go. Yeah, that's not good. Can you hear that noise? I don't like that. It's not easy to work with, and it could be they're just a bit angsty from swarming. It could be that. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt at the moment, because they have settled down now. They've got some syrup in there, but you don't really want bees coming in your face like that when you open the box. So that's all pollen there. Blimey, there's a sheep over there with a starter motor problem by the sounds of it. Got four-wheel drive and she's still struggling. Right, full stop. There's the queen there. There, you can just see her there. Yeah, I don't know why they're jumpy. It might be the weather. It is annoying though, because they get under your fingers everywhere. It could be there's a lull in nectar supply. I don't honestly know, but we'll just have to see how this goes during the season, but I don't like this noise, it's horrible. You can just hear that they're angsty. It just takes one of their mates to get killed or squashed under your fingers, and then bang, you're stung. But very little swarming pressure at the moment on these, probably because of that extra. They had 2 supers rather than 1. Yeah, she's relayed that. It's full of eggs, you can't see them, but yeah, it's all being relayed. So you want to be going through here and checking bees, not fighting them coming at you like this. Even if you feed them like I'm doing now, they're still coming at me, which is rubbish really. You know, this is, I know a lot of the commercial boys will be saying, God, you don't know what, what you're up against, boy. But it's like everything. You've got a vicious pet that keeps attacking people. At some point you have to make a decision. Do you really want to be involved with it? Yeah, don't get me wrong, this is not horrendous, but it's not favourite. Look at them, they're all over my fingers. And what might help is when this colony gets knocked back, when finally they decide they're going to swarm or they produce a queen cell and we have to split them, or I might just split them anyway. It might settle this down, it might be just the size of the colony. But it's not easy and not favourite to deal with like this. They're all round my face now and it's just rubbish. Right, so do we steal one of these frames at the front here? Well, it's got eggs on it and brood now. So that one's got brood on, you can just see in there the white little cells. I don't know why they've started that campaign. There's plenty of other places to lay eggs, but they've decided they're going to do it at the front for whatever reason. And they haven't drawn that out yet, but they are starting to, so they're bringing all the shopping into the back of the hive. say, it's not horrendous, but it's not favourite. They're not relaxed, are they? You can see it. So now, even with the syrup trick, we're going to have trouble getting this box back together now. I'll just have to do the best I can. If I squash some. Right. Just got away with that, I think. Come on, stop messing about. Right. So I'm going to go half mag, he says. There you go. And we'll put the super, the second super we took off, we'll put that at the top now. And put a new box on the bottom. Well, we'd put a new box on the bottom if I went and got one. Hang on. So he makes it back just as a plane's going over. Helpful. So, a trick that Cayman Reynolds came up with, the chap from Tennessee's Bees, he came up with on a show once, I can't remember what it was, but he said if you haven't got any drawn supers, any drawn comb in supers, like this is drawn comb from last year, you can see where the honey was, and this is just, this bit is just foundation. This is like brood foundation, but the frames are not so deep. So if you've got trouble because you haven't got any, he says you can leave the queen excluder off and that will get the bees to come up into the foundation and start drawing it out as if it was nest, and then at the next visit, once they've started that process, you can put a queen excluder on. So I can't remember how I got all these things, and I can't remember doing that because I didn't know, but you know, maybe that is a good trick and certainly worth trying, because he's a clever chap, so I'm sure he's tested that. I'll just go and get the other super frames. It's got a very strange scent to it, this honey or whatever it is in here, whatever they're bringing in. It's got a very strange note, so if we get to collect some of this, we'll find out. So even the girls up here in the top are a bit jumpy as well, which is not favourite. we might have a fight on our hands with this lot this year, which is a shame. Right, so that is now a 3-box, 2 brood boxes, queen excluder, 1, 2, 3 supers, and yeah, I'm still getting hassled and I don't like this. It's just nonsense. So we'll just have to see how the season progresses and whether this queen goes the distance or whether we have to replace her. All packed up then. Still getting hassled by the guard bees from next door. Don't know what that's all about. Could be the weather. These sound quite calm now. Busy but calm. So I'm already starting to hatch a plan as to how we're going to deal with this colony next door. But I won't bore you with too much about that now. But yeah, the queen just might have to go. We can't have that behaviour all the time. But patience is a virtue, as they say. And I have no idea what set them off. Maybe it was that disruption I caused, stealing 2 frames. But most of those guard bees will have died by now, so it could be genetics. I don't know. Anyway, off to Apiary 1 after lunch.